Leela number 5, Divine Manifestations. Kaumudi's grandpa and the concept of Rinanabandh. Often we think, I have done so much for my kith and kin, and today when I need them the most, they give flimsy excuses and they're not there for me. This is a wonderful Leela about karmic cycles and Rinanabandh in this life. For 15 days, Kaumudi had been running a high temperature and the fever had taken its toll on her. She felt extremely weak and was unable to get out of bed. It was around 10 a.m. in the morning and Kaumudi was waiting for her younger brother, Chandu, who was a doctor, to arrive. She was the eldest amongst her siblings and had 2 younger brothers and 2 younger sisters. Kaumudi lay curled up in her bed and her entire life of self-sacrifices unfolded like a movie in front of her eyes. She was only 15 years old when her mother passed away, and just 2 months later her father also died. The responsibility of taking care of her siblings fell on her young shoulders. When she was 19, she took up a job as a school teacher and also went to college to get her master's degree. Then she returned home and did all the chores of the house and finally went to bed around 11 p.m. Thus, with her meager pay as a teacher, Kaumudi managed to put food on the table and educate her siblings, though this was not an easy task. Both her sisters Shushma and Pratima were well educated, married and well settled. Chandu, her brother, had graduated from medical college and was now working in a famous hospital in Mumbai. Nandu had become an engineer and was also working in a multinational company in Mumbai. When she had written to all her siblings and informed them about her illness, she expected all of them to come running to her aid. However, just the opposite happened. Each of them wrote to Kaumudi how much they regretted their inability to come and be with her at this time. Now only Chandu was left. He's a doctor who cares for people. Surely he will come to take care of his sister, thought Kaumudi. Finally, she received a letter from Chandu. Even before opening it, she instinctively knew that he wouldn't come. Nonetheless, she opened the letter and read it. He had written that a friend of his was to have a major operation and hence it was not possible for him to come. He asked Kaumudi to forgive him. However, he suggested that she should hire a maid who would look after her and he would send Kaumudi the money so she could pay the wages. Chandu's letter was the last straw. The floodgates of tears opened and she sobbed inconsolably. She thought, will a hired maid tend to my needs like my own brother and sister? If I had to get a maid, would I have written to all of you about my illnesses? Today I have learned that you have to stand by yourself and no one will stand beside you in the time of need. Like a mother, I looked after all of you, fulfilled your desires and never allowed you to do a single chore. Although I had the intelligence and good qualities, I did not get married for your sake and this is what I got in return. Today I have learned that kith and kin are mere names and nobody really cares. Kaumudi then sobbed her heart out and threw herself on the bed. At that moment there was a knock on the door. Kaumudi dejectedly thought, now who has come to trouble me? However, she managed to open the door and an old gentleman with a torn white kafni but with a blissful expression on his face stood in front of her. Unwittingly she said, please come in, and moved aside to let him in. The old man entered and closed the door behind him. Gently holding Kaumudi's hand, he led her to the bed. His soft touch had a life-changing effect on her. She didn't feel like taking her hand away from his. With compassion and love, he patted her hand and spoke to her softly. Child, I'm very hungry. Your Shantabai has prepared soft, fluffy rice. Bring me a plate of rice along with some lemon pickle. Kaumudi wondered how does he know that the rice was cooked by my maid Shantabai. Nevertheless, she brought a plate full of rice and served it to him. Grandpa, you must be very hungry. but today I have nothing else to serve you. Neither do I have the strength to prepare anything for you. The fever is just not leaving me." He replied, "Kaumudi, don't be upset. Today I have a desire to eat rice and I will happily eat it." Then he sat down and contentedly ate it. "Child, there is still some more rice left. Serve it to me and bring me some water to drink along with it." In a daze, Kaumudi quietly went to the kitchen and brought the remaining rice and a glass full of water and gave it to him. He kept aside some water in a cup, then quietly ate the rice and drank the water. Then he sat beside Kaumudi and gently passed his hand over her back. He took out a packet of udi from the pocket of his kafni and emptied it into the cup filled with water and handed it to Kaumudi, saying, "Child, drink this and your fever will flee, and don't worry." Kaumudi drank it without giving it a second thought. Grandpa laughed heartily as he watched her drink the water. Then he caressed his cheek and said, "Child, this is not our first meeting. I have known you since you were little. Years ago, your parents, along with you and your siblings, came to meet me. At that time, your mother entrusted all the children to my care. Subsequently, your parents passed away. Then you grew into this responsible and capable young lady. You got educated and started working, and simultaneously, you dutifully took care of your siblings. You gave them all a good education and got both your sisters married. And just like your name, Kaumudi or Moonlight, you spread cool, gentle, caring moonlight upon your siblings and everyone around you. I have been watching you from a distance, and I promised your mother I have been taking care of you. Finally, all your siblings attained success and moved away, and today you are alone. Then how is it possible for me to stay away from you? If you feel deserted and alone, then of what use am I? So I came to meet you on my own accord. Now you don't have to worry anymore. In your previous life, your siblings took care of you, and in this life you have repaid that debt and become free. So do not think I did so much for them and they have forgotten me and be hurt. Don't say I did this and that and be filled with conceit. Just as you did kind, caring acts for your siblings in one of your previous lives, you did the same for a very special person. The person is Sadananda Ranade, and he will come looking for you on his own accord. He, like his name, is full of happiness and bliss. He is perfect for you, and he will make you very happy, and you shall not want for anything. So don't turn him away. I assure you, you will never regret accepting his hand in marriage. My words are never untrue. Have complete faith in what I say. You served me rice today, but do not eat rice for the next 5 days. Only drink fluids like hot tea, hot water, and buttermilk. Here is a packet of udi. Apply some on your forehead and also some mixed in water." Grandpa then placed his 5 fingers in a packet of udi and applied it to Kaumudi's forehead. Again he gently patted her back and got up to leave. Prior to leaving, he said, "I have to leave now. Kaumudi, you will become all right in a few days, and you will be very contented and happy in life. If at all you feel the need to talk to me, just call me by my name, and I will be there right beside you." Grandpa had reached the door and was about to exit when Kaumudi said, "By what name shall I call you?" Grandpa laughed and put his hand in his pocket and took out a fistful of bakul flowers and threw them in Kaumudi's direction. Then he vanished. Kaumudi eagerly looked at the floor and saw the flowers had taken the shape of the name Sai Baba. Simultaneously, Kaumudi's room was lit up by a brilliant light and a sweet aroma filled her room. With tears in her eyes, she looked at the name and said, "How lucky I am! Even though I never prayed to you, nor was I devoted to you, yet you came running to my aid. Now I know that I'm not alone, nor will I ever be alone. I don't have to worry about anything, as I am sure you're right behind me. Therefore, I will adhere to all that you have said to me and try not to let pride creep into my life. I will wait for my life partner, the partner you have chosen for me, and welcome him into my life. From this very moment, Baba, I will seat you on the throne of my heart and remember you always. I will start chanting your name from today, as I am now completely healed mentally and physically. This Leela was from Sri Sai Leela Magazine, Volume 59, Number 2, May 1980.